anymore. So yeah, interesting times over there. It's kind of fun too, because even if you talk to these guys, like they, in the interview that Kaze gave, he's like, we're not even the best team in China. Like at the moment, they feel like it's Lin Vision, and so like that whole rivalry. There's still a rivalry within China, which is a lot of fun, and really fun that we get to start the day in the tournament with TYLOO, with Lin Vision, and different matchups, and see how they fare, both with opportunities to upset, and having that be the best of 3 after the fact would be awesome if we manage to get that.
Well, let's go. ENCE versus TYLOO. Let's begin the journey of the dragon in China here in Shanghai. We've got ENCE versus TYLOO kicking off on Nuke. Best of 1, CS2, Jason. Let's do it.
Yeah, it can be nice and quick. This can go speedy, as you've all seen, like this beautiful, beautiful overlay that we have here at PGL Studios.
Ooh, the HUD.
Yeah, the HUD.
Looking fresh.
It's lovely, isn't it? Well, here's Nerds over towards door, trying to break the vent. Smoke wall outside. Snappy's going to get first contact. Peek is in, and that P2K not working quite the way he would have liked. And actually, Smoke not obscuring anything. Really, that's a dangerous cross that they get away with.
Yeah, not exactly the smoke they'd be looking for. Kaze coming through A main. Is Jamyoung and Madden going tit for tat off the start of this round. Mosier doing damage up towards heaven, but it's all set up for distraction for some Pius. Inside of the rafters, gets a double out of the Jewel Berettas. Probably a little more than he might have expected there, but Nerds is going to close it. The P2000 comes in, and ENCE have the first round.
Yeah, well done from Nerds. Nice double kill, and TYLOO, nice attempt towards the upper bomb site, but gets shut down right out of the gate. So that's the all-important first pistol round going over towards ENCE, and obviously, as we've all known, we've gotten accustomed to in all of our grinding of CS2, those pistol rounds more important these days.
Absolutely more important, but also some changes coming in. We're seeing the Glock be super strong in this game, and the P2K, it's returned.
It has returned. I've switched back to the USB though. I'm back.
You back?
Yeah,
okay.
I gave up on the P2K.
Well, we'll see how long
it was a good run. It was a good month, and I'm back to my roots.
But we're still in the best timeline. The Jewel Berettas are still a meta.
Beretta's meta is still around. It's very powerful. Sun Pius is going to have those in the second round. There's a nice shot over the top of the smoke.
So if you get bomb plant T-side, that's really the only scenario. If you get the bomb plant and lose the round, that's really the only scenario in which you see force buys come in.
Most of these tournaments, we've seen a lot less like second round force buys without that plant, as you're mentioning. And it's cool seeing Sun Pius take kind of advantage of that, right? Saving up for the AWP, not investing in this second round, just being happy to stick with the dualies and getting a chance to bust it out a little bit quicker.
Yeah, very few teams have gone for the more aggressive approach to the economy and gone for
Who was it that was doing it?
Spirit.
Like, Spirit was the one, yeah.
That was like the only team that did it.
I think Monty did it once or twice as well.
Yeah, sure. Some of those regional teams from Eastern Europe definitely more aggressive on the economy game. But here's ENCE 2-0 start, exactly what they would have hoped for. And, Blood was still saying on the desk, although you believe in the chance for TYLOO, ENCE, he feels still should win the game, right? And so you look at this team, I would say so, but...
I agree with that entirely.
Yeah, of course.
ENCE should still have this one with the quality of players and the experience they have as a unit, even with the stand and even with the snap situation. These guys are professionals that have been one of the best teams in the world for the past, 2 years now, you'd say?
Definitely been in the conversation.
Yeah. Through roster changes of their own. Yeah, if any team knows how to keep playing with roster changes, it would be ENCE. And Sun Pius going to get aggressive, but dropped. Kaze's got an opener, and he's going to pick up the pace. He's got 2.
And now he's got an AWP, so offer into your hands now, and we'll see what Kaze can do with that. Slick double. Jamyoung gets caught in an aim fight against Snappy towards outside, and that is going to go the way of the Danish in-game leader. Jamyoung goes down, and information spotted for Snappy too.
Yeah, and this is where it'd be really heartbreaking if you're TYLOO, if you gave up a double entry. So now you've got to find a way to make sure you don't just get picked off and thinned out before you can actually progress into the bomb site. That smoke wall isn't going to stay up forever. Mercury's got another one. That's Madden rotating through the vents despite not having secret control, so punished for his insolence. Snappy goes down outside. And here is what the desk was talking about as well. TYLOO being much cleaner and much more accustomed and running a much more, style that's more similar to the global meta than what we've seen in the past. Getting that early advantage, sitting and waiting with the map control and looking for the response from ENCE, and they've punished everything.
Yeah, Wegan looking around here from ENCE, and now just Nerds. Mosier's even chilling over towards red, so you might be able to get a chance here, but Nerds should have that kill locked in, and he will. So he'll now give away his position, and he'll look to retreat to save his weapon. So TYLOO get the first gun round on the board. Bit of a bonus for a few players here for ENCE, but you had the AWP going for an aggressive opener, and it doesn't work at all.
Yeah, I like it. Just a wonderful play from Kaze. Double opening, and even swapping out to the AWP was a tough thing to get going in time.
interesting talking points coming out of Device heading into this tournament as well. Just giving an interview with VHL TV, talking about how he actually likes the fact that the AWP isn't as OP.
I don't believe him.
And I'm like, you're a liar. It's like, there's absolutely no way.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, this man is a liar. But who knows? Maybe we'll get some adjustments, but definitely doesn't feel as strong currently.
Yeah, it hasn't been. It's been a big talking point for most of the offense.
Shadow.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, that Shadow is it's a dicey one.
But yeah, it's nice to see TYLOO play this clean style. I mean, this is a team that have been doing this for such a long time. It has been Advent that's kind of forced them into this play style to try and keep up with that global meta. And he has been doing it for years, and now starting to see some results from it. ENCE down on not the prettiest buy here. They've got XM here for Madden.
No, the AWP investment actually backfired. They lost that, immediately, and that's passed over to TYLOO, so that'll be in the hands of Kaze. And then obviously with that kind of investment, even with a little bit of a bonus round of 2 SMGs, you're hurting for cash as you pass weapons around, hurting a little bit on utility as well. So we'll see what ENCE can bring to the table. Sun Pius waiting outside in Big Garage, watching towards Mini.
Ooh, there's the Mr. Henry G smokes as they go out towards outside. Quick cross smokes. Sun Pius plays towards the back of the garage, letting them come a little bit closer. But it's Snappy that's gone towards Secret early. That could have been a big position. He's already there, down on the lower bomb site.
He's been playing for delay. He just has a smoke in hand. He's looking for the pixel on the cross, and he'll just drop a smoke. If that never gets challenged, the ENCE will have full awareness that that position isn't being aggressed upon. Flashbang out for Mercury, but still no progress made. 50 seconds left in the round.
Just a slow pace around here from TYLOO.
Stand-in Vladin as well, just kind of stuck in ramp room and said, have fun.
It's the position you want to put that stand in. Molotov forces Nerds into a more uncomfortable spot. He's looking for that door extension, and Advent's going to get caught by it. So Pius and Nerds combining to shut down the attack. That's the bomb going down at the doorway, and Mercury, although he may activate down to a secret, there is no pathway to victory here for TYLOO unless ENCE would make a massive mistake, and that isn't going to happen.
Yeah, and that's a complete opposite round than what we saw from ENCE in the previous one. In that first gun round, the aggression in ramp room with the AWP that gets punished by Kaze. This time it's like, okay, we'll see if you guys can actually break into a bomb site without us giving anything up. We'll see what you guys have to find an opening and entrance, and it all falls flat. And Madden coming in with the auto shotty, gonna see a leg. Oh, he loves it. Thankfully, just before time went out.
If you waited one more second, that would have been devastating. But, when you get behind them, there's that moment you just want to start fighting immediately. But
especially with a shotgun, you never know when he's going to turn around. Take the advantage when you have it.
Get the money for yourself and focus on your economy. But 3-1, and it is frustrating here from TYLOO.
Ooh.
To lose this round, they didn't fully expect Nerds to be okay there. They thought that Molotov would have cleared out main completely, but it didn't.
Yeah, no smoke down on the follow-up to try and get that swing in. Sometimes you'll see that smoke pop into the Molotov. So pause taken from TYLOO. Timeout. As they want to talk. No, that's not. They didn't take one. That's just telling us they have used 0 of 3.
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. A little sticky note.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that indeed. It's a cool style we got here. But TYLOO still got
some money. Did they take a
money.
title pause? I'm so confused right now. I think they did.
I would imagine so. It took a long time to get into this round, so I think they absolutely did. But we're looking at the purchase here from TYLOO. You're forced onto a couple of MAC-10s, a Tech 9. You still have the AWP and the AK-47. You might think about a faster maneuver here. See if Kaze can open something up for you. He's got the bomb in his back. Would be a little worried about. I think he's just realized that as well. He's like, I'm about to take a peek. Maybe don't do that with the bomb in my hand.
Well, the crappy thing is he probably wanted to take that timing, right? And then he had to drop the bomb, and now it's kind of ruined maybe the deeper angle that he wanted to grab to help out this MAC-10.
We need to be so careful because Snappy is filling the void of Deha and playing aggressive towards outside. Now, I thought that might have been a liability. When you look at Deha and Snappy on firepower, there's definitely a disparity there. But Snappy's doing a good job. And now the stand-in being tested at ramp. It's Vladin that holds, gets the smoke down, and he's delayed them.
And passing his test with flying colors. That's a nice, easy kill. And then there's the smoke plumes. No chance for a response or a rebuttal, and TYLOO have to call it off. Back towards hut we go, but not together.
Oh, Mozia, good shot coming through the hut. That's Nerds out of there. And that's going to be a kill back for TYLOO that might put them a little closer to recovering this round. But Madden's filled the gap immediately. He's gone in towards hut with the XM 1014. He's got a chance with timing. Timing just allows Jamyo to get across, and Vladden once again about to be retested, but he's just going down. They're not really chasing him.
And this is why you stick the stand in there too. It's like if you ever get in trouble, you can just drop. If you ever are confused in who the rotation's going to come in or who's coming to support you, just drop down and have a good time. So Vladden going to be forced into the open by the Molotov. Can't access Dark. Good flashbang, but still lands the first kill. Oh, that's a nice flick back.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people getting excited about Vladden. Well, he's looking crispy. There's Madden to clean up and upgrade into the AK-47. What an opportunity it is for a player like Vladden, who was kind of the best-looking player on that iNation team. Young player, 22 years old.
22 years out of Serbia.
Yeah, and that's the great thing. He's from Serbia, so that means he didn't have to get a visa for China. You don't need to get a visa if you're Serbian for China, which is the problem for Diha to be here. So if you have a last-minute stand-in, you go to a Serbian player, and what an opportunity here for Vladden, because you probably would have overlooked him, gone for someone else if there was other opportunities, and timing worked out differently, but it has all just landed on his feet, really.
Yeah, really cool experience for him, especially to get to play with a team like ENCE, even with kind of all the uncertainty they're kind of going through. Still one of the best teams in the world. You get to play with some great teams. You get to play under a great in-game leader and showcase your skills at a big-time tournament. So wonderful opportunity. So far 3-2, but at first round they've actually tested into his position. Passes with flying colors. 3 kills for the first time they attack into him at ramp, and that's lovely.
Doesn't feel like TYLOO have a particular bite about them at the moment, does it? It feels a little flat. Even with the round with Tech 9s and a Mac 10, it didn't feel like there was that moment.
Even with the jet lag advantage.
Yeah, exactly. The circadian rhythm in check. Everything going their way.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I mean, that's kind of, again, that goes back to the conversation that the desk has had of this team kind of figuring out how to play like a little bit more of a methodical and a style that has a little bit more thought and tactics into it. Where historically just known as being psychotically aggressive, across the Asian scene. So certainly we haven't seen kind of some of the strengths and individual prowess of these players really shine quite yet in this map.
You probably do have a unique pressure now on your shoulders as the team playing under the TYLOO banner. Blair was bringing it up, it is the most prestigious brand in China that has the most legacy.
Well, also, I was going to talk about this before we in the pregame before we saw Madden with that big yawn. That kind of sidetracked me from making a point. Was like,
Stop. You've just made everybody at home yawn, and I'm about to do it as well, Jason.
It's like there is like it is very cool, and it's got to be something special for TYLOO to play at this event after so long without them in China with the crowd and everything like that. But we've seen so many times like teams playing under home field advantages, quote unquote, as we say them from the outside, really struggle with the pressure of wanting to perform well in front of your home crowd. We've seen Danish teams struggle with it. Astralis historically struggled to win in Denmark.
Yeah.
Even in the height of the power of the Brazilian region in 2016, they struggled to win in Brazil. Being in front of your home crowd has its disadvantages as well, or it's certainly its obstacles at the very least.
Yeah, there's a sort of expectation on your shoulders when you've got
your friends and your family there. Exactly. You want to show off for mom and dad.
Yeah, it doesn't really work like in sports when people are screaming and in favored of you and sort of telling the other team that they're going to mess them up. It probably helps, get into their mind a little bit more. But in esports, it hasn't really worked out that way.
Diha's over in the Twitch chat.
Man, I cannot believe it.
He's saying China #1.
Oh, he is? Okay. It's coming in live. Off the presses, Diha has said China #1 already. He dropped it first, I guess. He is the first to do it. It was inevitable. It would happen at some point.
It was obviously going to happen
in this tournament, but it's Diha that's come out with it. Not only are those jackets pretty sick, but they have their own pop vinyl little characters, and I feel like that would be so sick. Yeah. Imagine one of you, Jason. You had your own little bobblehead.
Just a nice, smooth.
You could rub its head for good luck or whatever.
I'm into it.
Yeah, that'd be kind of sick, actually. Maybe we could get that. There was one event back in the day. I think it was maybe Blast event where people got the Russian dolls made of them.
Sure.
That was pretty cool too.
Those were cool.
Yeah, I like little.
I think we've done bobbleheads before. I think there's a few people who got them. Some players got them. I think a couple guys of talent got them as well. Couldn't tell you when or where. That was a long time ago.
A long, long time ago. And this is a long, long technical pause.
Tell you what, tech pauses feel twice as long when you're jet lagged.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I am sure. Well,
just sat there, can't talk.
We'll have to wait and see how long this takes then. For Madden, we are on yawn cam for him at the moment. It's like, how many yawns is he going to have during this game? Yep. I'm sure it's only going to get a little easier for them. And if you're TYLOO, you want to put them away as quickly as possible, actually. You don't want to let them kick into gear here.
Well, you might have already lost that step, right? That
Yeah,
one might be out the window. Put him down quick and don't let him get a step, because ENCE off to this 4-1 lead. They've kind of sidestepped the danger of getting economically reset anytime there was an opportunity. So ENCE looking pretty solid. And as you mentioned, this TYLOO team hasn't really had that punch, that strength behind it that we're used to seeing quite yet in this game. Struggled to find some openings outside of the Kaze double kill and ramp in the first gun round. There really hasn't been much to talk about for the TYLOO side of things. And that's probably sticking deep into their brainstem. They've got notes as well.
Yeah, they got notes. I feel like maybe the notes are overrated in Counter-Strike. Until I see the notes, I don't believe that they're
that they have any real information
exactly.
on them.
I think, you know, if you're a Counter-Strike player, you ain't reading the notes straight away. Limvision, the top team in China right now. I don't like people saying that. I think
Kaze said that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
he's the expert.
Well, yeah, but I feel like you just gotta say you're still the best. You know?
Well, the problem is, like, they just lost that game, right?
Yeah, sure, but you can lose a game of Counter-Strike and still say you just had a bad day.
Like, I know we lost to them, but we're still the best. Screw those guys.
Exactly. You know,
that's fair.
Got to be the best in your own mind, and maybe they'll prove that at this event. Maybe they'll prove that at this event, because we might even get that best of 3 today. We might get a rematch of it in a completely different tournament. So we've got Astralis versus Limvision as the second best of 1 of the day. And I feel like that's an exciting one, because Limvision obviously going to be feeling a lot more confident. They got that big win recently over TYLOO.
Yeah, and Astralis has looked like crap.
Yeah, true.
Just to put it bluntly,
I think that, yeah, and the atmosphere is probably crap as well. Like,
yeah,
you're just saying that, oh, maybe I'll be on the team next week, maybe I won't. Who knows how it's gonna go? How about those roster moves, James?
Yeah, I know that one is kind of like is Limvision gonna have the upset? I know technically it is an upset. It would be an upset, but it doesn't feel like it's actually that much of an upset if they do take.
It would be upsetting for Astralis fans, I guess.
Yeah, that's about it though. Everyone else, I think, is firmly in the Limvision camp.
Yeah, firmly in there. But just a moment before we get back into the action, I would hope. I have just blatantly lied to you. I don't know how long that's going to be, but we will wait and see. Perhaps
I have put some false information in there. We might not be right back.
but if we will it into the universe, maybe if we have enough positive energy.
If we wish enough, if we all wish for the same thing, that energy is going to make it all the way around the world jet lagged.
Now, if you are confused, we did hear the opening of the show. They were talking about how we're in Bucharest here on the broadcast.
A lot about Upset City.
Yeah, a lot about Upset City. You may be confused as to which location this event is in, but this is in Shanghai, China. The return to China. We're in Bucharest though, and this is being a great old time. You know, waking up nice and early, getting the Counter-Strike ready to go. Jason,
no better way to start the day.
You don't even have to deal with the jet lag. You're just keeping it going from the States, right? Is there much of a difference?
Yeah, there is a lot. There's quite a difference.
Oh, you're still getting wrecked?
It's 7 hours. Oh. It's actually, this event starts when I go to bed back home.
All right, well,
it's actually the worst.
I guess you just get wrecked every time then.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but hey, it's all in good fun. Yeah, the event in Shanghai, broadcast out of Bucharest.
Yeah,
and it's
would be usually where I would say, oh, we're truly globally offensive, but you know we don't have that anymore.
No,
just 2.
Just 2.
I feel like they missed a trick there. Could have just called it Counter-Strike. They didn't ruin that opportunity with 1.6. We could just make it the definitive version.
Well, the devs talked about that, I think, in that, what was it, the PC Gamer interview they did?
Yeah.
And they were like, it felt weird just like not making it different from just Counter-Strike, because it is like one of the, a core engine update. It is like a core, like they even talked about it as if it's a completely different game, and they want to obviously keep that vibe of it to make it feel fundamentally Counter-Strike, which I think they succeeded with, obviously. And just for them, it is just a brand new game.
Yeah, it's fair. It's like the Dota 2, I guess, but
yeah, I like it too. Nice and easy, to the point.
Yeah, it is to the point. You know, it's the second version, the second coming, and hopefully, we'll get Vlad in, returning to the server. He had a big round, and then immediately get out of here.
Yeah,
straight away, DC'd. It's hard to keep your mental focus, I'm sure. It's, you did mention there was a tech issue, but it probably is, and you can't speak in it, but you're sitting there, you got jet lag, you're in a long tech pause, keeping your mental focus, that has to be a trick you've got to learn.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely is. Players talk about it all the time, and I think it obviously helps. Like a team like ENCE, I think, will have no real problems to it.
Yeah, here we go. Vladin's back. Ooh. That's exciting. That might mean we're getting into the game very shortly. So let's just wait and see that match pause sticky note be removed from the screen. And the action will continue. ENCE versus TYLOO. Now, we did see recently, we've commentated quite a lot of CS2 so far, and we did see like the big starts generally end up being victorious for the team that got the stronger start, right?
Yeah, and that's one of the complaints too. I guess complaints, issues that players have had with this kind of drop down MR12 is there are less opportunities to recover in a half.
Yeah, you have to start strong, otherwise the game becomes so much more difficult for you, and you can't really take too many risks in the economy. So we'll probably not see TYLOO do much in this round, honestly.
It's old school though. I mean, I competed in MR12 like way back when in like 2003, and I mean it does like a good clutch is a very important thing to have. A good clutch goes a long way. We're back. Round 6 is live. TYLOO, no real money to work with.
Yeah, there's nothing really too exciting here for TYLOO. Maybe Mosier can show us something on the Deagle, but it might be another scenario where Vladin gets a nice ramp rush coming at him. He's got the lineup. Look at this. Steal this one. Ooh. So he lines himself up on the floor, and then jump throws the nade into the ramp room. And Nerds has pushed through Hut, so there's the opening.
I wonder if that's kind of a design of where, like, I'm going to blow up this smoke. The tension will probably turn towards ramp room if they see the smoke being blown open and the Hut push comes in. That could be an interesting angle. Could have just been a fun little peek to take.
Well, it worked out, even if it wasn't intentional.
Exactly.
And Vladin holding down for the big box, getting pushed, getting pressured. And Vladin does not crack, although a couple of his teammates have cracked the roll wide open.
Yeah, Vladin never saw that player Kaze cross over towards Snappy, so Snappy gets taken down. There's a chance here for Kaze. This is what I was talking about. Big boy clutches. One big clutch can dictate a lot in MR12, and Kaze has a chance for it, although taking heavy damage.
Yeah, he's taking heavy damage, having to deal with 2 different angles, but he's actually slipped away. He didn't get the better weapon, though. Still on the Deagle.
Just get the
going for the bomb plant.
That is only goal.
A massive opportunity for Kaze, and he has got that extra cash. He's being run down by Nerds, and a chance even to get the gun out in time, but it is going to be Nerds to close on 5 for ENCE, but that got way more dangerous than it looked like. I thought Vladin was shutting that down.
Yeah, that's actually a really good round for TYLOO. 3 kills and a bomb plant, taking some money away. Madden, Snappy, Vladin all have to reinvest. Some Pius is rich though, so we're cool. It's 5-1.
Yeah, it was a massive round considering what they had. They had like 1 Deagle.
And this is where we have to see TYLOO have a little, like, pack a little bit of punch. You mentioned they look flat. They haven't really had success in opening kills. The only opening, the only real entries and strong starts to these rounds they've gotten is when ENCE pushed into them and Kaze shut it down. They haven't been able to create anything themselves, and that has to change right now.
Well, let's see what the call is out from Advent. Similar smokes as we've seen deployed multiple times, and it's Vladin. This time, he's not just sitting back in the ramp. This time, it's a lobby crunch. ENCE have called it a perfect time, really, and that has caught TYLOO completely off guard.
Especially when you think about it mentally. Like, TYLOO's probably thinking the same thing I am. Like, we need to call, like, a god-tier strategy that we love. They're thinking of what they're running and what they're going to do and how to change this, and all of a sudden, ENCE is in their face, and they don't expect it whatsoever. Great opening to the round for ENCE, and they've got a man advantage. And they have full map control as well.
That's the other thing, right? TYLOO have nowhere to go. They might have lost outside. They don't know if they have any control here. They're stuck at spawn at the moment, and there's still 1 minute and 10 seconds left in this round. So you've got a little bit of extra utility left. So you cross out a little closer towards red here, Kaze. But at this point, Advent has to figure out the solution.
Well, they're going to have to spend a lot of time clearing out lobby. Advent and Jam Young are doing that while Kaze works this. So there's no pressure at the moment to find any kill. They're not in any kind of a rush at the moment. 45 seconds left. So Kaze just gaining a little bit of space as his teammates take control, regain control of lobby. And now they can decide how they want to do this to work together to make this happen.
Some Pius is in a very powerful position. Difficult to get him out of the spot, but Advent does it. He clears him. Strong peek, now Nerds to the back of the site, one of the best riflers in the world this year. It's going to be difficult to remove him when he has the help of Snappy taking initial distraction up towards heaven. And even when Nerds takes contact, Snappy can peek. They tap, they try and draw Nerds into the open, and that's exactly what they get, but it's a double from Nerds, and the round likely to follow in just a second here. Kaze goes down inside of the site, and it's 6-1 now for ENCE.
Yeah, they really wanted to clear the back of the bomb site. If they had just covered the plant, they might have been able to get away with that, but trying to kind of wheel in and take out Nerds in that position exposed him to a lot of danger, and he stood tall to the task. 6-1, but there you did see a little bit of that firepower. After this initial one can be a tough round to recover from, and you find Advent sliding out of the door and finding that kill on Sun Pius out in the big garage.
That guy sounds annoying.
That is a voice.
Well, that's going to be the top side hit. And Snappy getting a double kill, Advent and Jamyong going down, and when Snappy's fragging out this hard, It's a tough world to live in. TYLOO getting desperate now, starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel. You try to quick push out towards the top side, and you get instantly destroyed. So
Fly was so excited for Upset City. He's packed his bags. He's got to the airport, and they just told him the flight was canceled.
Yeah.
Like, nope, there's nothing
Sorry,
going to
Blah.
Upset City today.
That place doesn't exist.
We were also excited. We were talking about it this morning. Everyone was getting happy, thinking about the prospect of like a TYLOO LinVision best of 3, and all of a sudden it's just like, nah.
Yeah, it's not happening, is it?
Not even close.
Well, maybe there's only one ticket today. Maybe there's only one train journey, and it's leaving the station with LinVision.
It's a little bit of a later flight that he can't make.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's what we're looking at. But
flights, planes, trains, and automobiles.
All the modes of transport.
Shout out to John Candy. Mosey outside gonna get picked. Oh no, he does respawn and Mercury adds in, and all of a sudden it starts to crumble a little bit.
Yeah, and Nurse is still here, all reliable, still around, and they're gonna drop down the vent, although Mosey has been spotted getting into the corner, and he's forced into the open. Nerds takes him out, but Kaze's made it down, and just like the win, he's in through the bomb plant. He'll commit to it, locks it through. A 2v3 is winnable, especially with Mercury coming late down ramp. There's a chance here as Vladden, he's not looking the right way. He's not ready, and Mercury's got the kill. So now we're back into a 2 versus 2, a winnable scenario now for TYLOO. A very good scenario considering the start of this round, being down in a 5 versus 3 deficit. Both players now for ENCE coming through decon. This is the retake position, 2 flashes. They don't have a smoke, and that is going to make things a lot more difficult, but Kaze peeks out of dark, instantly dies, and Nertz on the headshot. It'll be the defuse, and that chance is squandered for TYLOO.
Yeah, shout out to Nertz, another good pair of kills, and unfortunately that bomb is not planted for Mercury up in ramp room, so he had to make an over-aggressive play to try and find that kill and just shut down entirely. ENCE respond again, despite some difficulties, and once again, like the Death said in the pregame, it's these late round situations that sometimes cause some issues for TYLOO, and all the clutches going in the favor, all those post-plant scenarios going in the favor of ENCE. What few we've had.
True. Yeah, it's not really come to that point, has it? Another tactical timeout being used here. It's rough for TYLOO because you have seen a lot of different looks. I don't feel like they've been allowed to play their game, right? They've tried a little bit slower. Sure, maybe the first few gun rounds didn't look too pretty, and then you had that lobby crunch for ENCE, and then TYLOO went for the aggressive balls the wall play, get out towards the top side, and got instantly wrecked by Snappy. So it's a rough position to be in here for TYLOO.
Yeah, ENCE have done a good job of mixing in aggression to keep them honest, right? Even when it's not like the full-blown lobby crunch, it's maybe a little bit of a peak, you know, here and there. We've had players playing in towards HUD as well, peeking towards lobby, finding that one kill. So
yeah,
just enough disruption is in there to really throw TYLOO off their game, and they haven't been able to recover quite yet. So yeah, they better figure it out.
It's interesting because I've heard a lot of players over the years talk in different interviews, podcasts, and talk about what goes into some of these tactical timeouts. And you're kind of thinking in that moment, okay, we know this has been working consistently for us, but we have to think about, from their perspective, what do they think they're going to have to change? What is the adaptation they're likely going to make? And how do we then counter that? And so you have to make the decision of, am I going to play consistently the way I have been playing so far, or am I going to change the game to try and beat whatever counter they've come up with? And Snappy seemed to have the perfect call earlier on in this half.
Well, I think like Snappy is one of those in-game leaders that you kind of like, you would probably hate having on the other side of these scenarios when you're TYLOO, because he's so good and so willing to throw, like I mentioned, that disruption into the mix. And yeah, it's a little bit brutal, but I think TYLOO at this point, I think everyone individually has to be thinking of their own positions and what they've seen and what they can do to change things up. Obviously, the first one is everyone's going to need to be a little bit more focused and cautious about the aggression, especially out of a tech pause as well. It's a perfect time that we see teams mix things up and throw it in, although ENCE has already thrown a couple pieces in, so not much of a mix-up. But it is kind of like you think about your own individual position. What information have you spotted? Have you gathered what kind of intel of how they're playing the position, of how much space you can have in certain areas with certain plays, and pass that on to the in-game leader when the pause ends, as it has now heading into round 9. 7-1. 11 kills on Nertz. But it's really, the story has been the individual firepower of TYLOO has not showed up yet here on T-side Nuke.
Sure, 11 kills, but 1 death. He's died 1 time so far. Crazy, but here's that's a miss molly coming in towards HUD, but at the moment, just chill from TYLOO. No quick plays into the top side this time. Did not go well for them earlier on. Snappy's got himself to a pretty powerful position towards the back of the garage. And Kaze going to be lining up the standard smokes that have become so meta now. Those double smokes outside of main being tossed on out. So one player can throw both of them nice and quick. And Now you've got a player out red. You can try and fake the cross on down, and you're going for a heavy ramp play.
And it's not, the switch up isn't into aggression for ENCE. It's to park the AWP over in ramp room where the M4 has been there the whole time. Now it's Sunpius's turn.
Well, let's see if he's got it. He misses the shots. He's a couple of targets as well. Decides to peek out. Confident as ever is Sunpius. And once more taking up position. Although smoked away now at this point, maybe a little uncomfortable going into that TYLOO, so they've decided they want to go back. They want to try and go for this A play instead. Madden's been caught at the doorway. Mosier now making space, and the rest of the TYLOO side starting to filter on in. They know Nerds has been playing this position, and finally they will take him out for the second time on this map. The Krieg rings out from Jam Young, and they have broken through. Great reaction, great decisive call to get away from that AWP and back into the top side.
Snappy's never been able to have impact because nobody came outside through mini. That's all three players coming outdoor, and what a beautiful spot to throw the Krieg just to hold for that heaven peak. Instant headshot.
Yeah, we've seen a lot more of the return of the Krieg and the AUG coming back into CS2.
Yeah, everyone's getting experimental these days.
Yeah. I mean, it actually feels pretty balanced at the moment in terms of the amount of gun usage we're having. You know, we're seeing a lot of the weapons being picked up. We're seeing the XM come out. We're seeing more shotguns across the board. You're seeing P2000 come out for the first time in years. You know, we're actually seeing most of the weapons in CS2 being used at the moment. There's a great variance coming through.
Now we just need the MP5.
Wow, Jason. I have actually seen a few players using it.
I know a couple. I think JL's an MP5 fan.
Yeah, he is, yeah. There's people are talking about him as the future of CS.
This is probably the mistake that causes this all to collapse. Is Madden, I think, a little too wide of a swing as he rotates in, because Sunpius with the AWP, he smokes off to his left defensively to the box. TYLOO throws the smoke as well. So he's probably communicating that it's a B hit. They're committing at least to ramp room.
Yeah.
And that causes Madden to take a little bit of a wide swing and opens up the space. That's a great round from TYLOO, though. Finally, some of that prowess in the mid-round to crack things open. Can they build upon it?
Oh, Snappy's definitely enjoying the freedom he's got towards outside today. He's pushed down towards the bottom of silo already. Mercury looking to try and clear it. It's a tough spot to get rid of Snappy, and he gets across. Mercury, the smoke is not going to help him whatsoever. Snappy gets away with his life and the opening kill of the round.
That smoke plume is just big enough to hide him long enough for the flashbang to subside. And now Jam Young's got a decision to make. Smoke wall is up. Nerds is going to shift down towards Secret. He can find a timing here. He's got to be a little bit cautious. Madden with the shotgun onto... Oh, this is going to be great. If they come through that smoke, if they come through that door...
Oh, yeah. The big XM is out. The Alligator is stomping its way forward. Advent and Jam Young gone. Nerds, risky maneuver to sit on the ladder. You're not too accurate in this kind of position, but if you can fly it with a good timing, it can work out very well. Just one look at that Krieg, and he's throwing it back on the floor. Gets the AK-47 out, and ENCE back to winning ways.
Yeah, TYLOO trying to repeat that success of kind of coming outdoor when all has been lost elsewhere, and this time it's shut down entirely by Madden with the shotgun.
We're starting to look at the territory now where TYLOO do need the remaining rounds left in this half. You know, 8-4 feels like the minimum. Maybe you can get away with 9-3, but we haven't seen them look strong enough. We haven't seen the character in TYLOO to show us that 3 would be enough in this game.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of lean on that one and the switch of sides, even just like CT Nuke, right? Especially against a team like ENCE. So this hasn't been great, and yeah, 2 rounds left for them to see if they can scrape them together.
And there's no one really, you know, sometimes you're getting defeated this badly, at least there's maybe like a positive player that's standing out.
Right, you have one individual.
There's no one.
You could be like, he's popping off a little bit if he just gets like a quad kill.
If he just gets a quad kill, maybe he can win us a round, maybe he can win us a clutch.
Yeah, but you're right, you do have that every once in a while. Like a player can like hard carry you through a half just to give you enough to wake the other players up, and that doesn't feel like it's happening whatsoever on this map.
Yeah, they're losing as a team. Take that.
I mean, interestingly enough, the 2 rounds they've gotten, like we mentioned, kind of Mercury, Jam Young, Mosier, it's been Kaze in the first gun round to get the double kill on the ramp push, and then it was Advent to find the entries into the upper bomb site. It's not the names you would usually say. These are the ones having the biggest impact in the round wins.
Yeah. Advent this time has the main smokes lined up. Really trying to condition them to believe they aren't going to cross a player out red most rounds, and they are. Mercury, the player doing that again, this time not alone. He has got his teammate in the form of Jam Young with him. Senpai is damn close to hitting that shot through the smoke. That would have been a devastating start to the round for TYLOO, but in fact, it's actually really solid from them. They've got 2 players down Secret.
Yeah, the hard part is with this position pushed up in ramp room, like there's no way to connect these pieces anymore. That's going to be the difficulty.
Look at this stairway. Peeks up. It's going to be Jam Young ripped apart, and Surprise gets away. And because they've got Madden down on the bomb side as well, the distraction's completely set up towards double door side. And now the next layer of the trap, the Vladin deep push in towards ramp. ENCE have just covered everything off.
It's an easy angle if they come towards ramp room, and you have a very fast flank. So any kind of resistance, if these aren't immediate kills, if these are not immediate kills from TYLOO, that flank is going to be so fast.
He somehow got back to it as well, but Nert's good for one. Now it's Madden's turn from Tetris. He gets overwhelmed and overrun. TYLOO into the site with a chance to win this, but Vladin's so quick on that flank. Activates it, comes around the back, bomb is down, and Kaze now has to win a hero clutch, and he won't be given that opportunity. TYLOO just getting outplayed, outmaneuvered, and ENCE are looking fantastic on the CT side.
Yeah, pretty good entries in as well into the upper bomb side with that late kind of hit once again at a disadvantaged situation, and that's the problem. These opening plays from ENCE, like the first timing in these rounds, ENCE is winning them time after time, and TYLOO's always playing a recovery game. They're never in control of these rounds. They're never dictating the action.
They've never been able to have a split. It feels like you get one part of the map, sure, maybe they get secret, for example, last round, but they don't get ramp, or you don't get top side.
And by the time they get it, they've probably lost a player or two elsewhere in the map as well. And it's, yeah, it's not been a fun game for TYLOO.
No, not at all. So the utility trickles in towards this A bomb site. No push yet from TYLOO. The last round of this first half. 9-3 is almost essential. Here's the play. Top side hit. Nertz holds out from Tetris again. He's worried about door. And he gets a second kill. He has to go to the P2000. Nertz, it's an attempt for sure, but he's got the rest of his teammates to try and close this one out. Jam Young and Mozia just sort of limping into this top side to close out this first half.
Yeah, this is a demoralized TYLOO. Even this fast upper hit just felt like it was actually only 2 players coming through. Jam Young naded before he could even do anything. 10-2 half in the favor of ENCE. Nertz leading the way with 15 kills. It is straight dominance.
And I mean, it is Nertz and Sampais who will have to step up in the fragging department when you don't have your full team here, when you're missing out on Dihaz, that's a really pivotal player for the success of ENCE. You do look to the likes of Nertz and Sampais as those 2 stars of the team to frag out, and that's exactly what they have done. So 15-4 for Nertz, can't be bad to that. And unfortunately for TYLOO, there's kind of no one fragging out at the moment. 2 rounds on the T side, that's got to feel rough. But Vladin, I think that's a really cool talking point. He looked
solid,
comfortable.
He looked okay.
Yeah, he did his job.
Yeah, for sure. That's about the best we can say at this point of him.
Good first half, wasn't a liability. And that's kind of the main thing you need from your stand-in player, but Nertz, here he is.
I love this. I mean, he knows that push outdoor is coming at any moment. He knows, like, this doesn't make any sense if there's not going to be a player coming outdoor. And that door player, on the other hand, is like, I'm smoked off. I know I need to be involved in the action. I know I need to push through, and like, I need to get this kill if we're going to win this round. But, you know, when do I find that timing to actually go through the smoke, and never having done it?
Had to wait for the reload sound.
Yeah, Nertz just gets a couple freebies.
Yeah, it was too late. Even actually gets a lot of damage off as well with the P2000, which allows for that nade kill to come in. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right, let's see the ENCE with these Ultra Glocks.
Ultra Glock. Now, it really has become kind of ridiculous how good the Glocks can be at this point.
Glocks scare me so much on CT this run.
Yeah.
They scare me so much.
It's definitely a tough old time when you're going up against the Glock. Advent, it might be rough for him. And Mozia under pressure, too, on that lower bomb site. They're just everywhere at this point. ENCE already scaling heaven. Bomb goes down towards lower. Oh, that's going to be a Mozia on a double kill. And he's not alone. He's got Mercury with him inside of the vent. And heaven play from Madden has worked out. Mercury, though, on the dual Berettas is gunslinging his way to a couple of kills here. But still, Madden is keeping ENCE in this one. Snappy and Madden to try and close the 2v4 total.
They got to get the bomb. So Snappy's got to play this very slowly and patiently, and just wait for Madden to be in some kind of a position to help out. There's a minute left. Madden's going to come join up with them so that they can use that USP. But this is a long time for Snappy to just have to hold here with all these angles.
You'd have to imagine as well, a peek there from Jam Young would eventually come in.
Information, right?
Yeah. And now he's got to smoke as well, deploy that. That's making things a lot more rough.
That's actually fine in a sense. There's plenty of time, and Snappy's like, okay, smoke here. No one's gonna push. I can relax a little bit. I can take a breath.
And get Madden to actually
wait for Madden to be here. And also the information that he's gathered, right? He saw the jump up over at the stairs towards control side. He knows Mercury's in the vents, and you can assume that Mozia is gonna be off to the left.
Smoke fades away. Now here goes the attempt to draw this round back completely. Nice shot from Madden, second from Snappy, and now it's just Mozia, and he has to do absolutely everything. He's looking for 4 kills from the same position, and Mozia's got it. There's some clean shots in the pistol. TYLOO desperately needed it, and Mosier makes it look clean.
That is a round of fantastic shooting from both sides as well. Mosier is a beast, but I mean, even busting up that like three-way trap down in secret is wonderful from ENCE to get off to a good start.
Bang.
There's this one. Yeah, all headshots for Mosier.
Didn't even move.
A tough angle to hit. Snappy gets the goosh, wants to press the advantage, and Mosier shuts him down.
There's finally a bit of excitement for TYLOO to get fired up with, but ENCE are coming back. They're coming back with a force spy, and they're coming back with a vengeance out towards the top side already. Tech9's running in. Although it is going to be Mercury trying to hold, it isn't going to happen for him, and these Tech9s are running hellfire on TYLOO's defense.
Yeah, if any team was going to force spy without a plan the second round, it would be ENCE as well. We know they love it. They love these Tech9s and Mac 10s, and the retake begins. Bomb is down, and Nerds is going to have to step up one more time. 3 kills to find, and he can't do it. Can't spin around, but good damage in a plant, and don't be shocked if ENCE spy again.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked at all. They got rounds to play with, and they definitely had a chance there to close out on that round. Massive recovery from TYLOO, because it did look like it was getting out of hand.
Both entries went to ENCE. That's a 3v5 recovery.
Yeah, that is huge. And I thought for a second there was a chance for Nerds to get that clutch, because Advent was so low. That was the next player who's going to shoot as well. But it is the force spy coming in for ENCE. Why not? I love it.
Hell yeah.
Do they just go for the same round again, though? Did they go for that top side again?
No, this time you got rifles. And I mean, you don't have the utility either to kind of do all the flashbangs, right? I mean, there was a good amount of utility to get those Tech9s activated. This time you don't have it. I think you go for a more slower pick style, let some utility fade away, work outside a little bit more.
Yeah, wait for a chance at opening, maybe provided by TYLOO. There's that cross smoke that should allow a TYLOO player to position up towards the back of garage.
They want to abuse ramp room.
And they have sent some pies out on his own. Send him out, let him fight, see if he can pick them apart with the scout while they preoccupy themselves with ramp instead. It's going to be Jamyoung under pressure.
It makes sense as well. I mean, again, not a whole lot of utility that you can do anything towards the upper bomb site in the early going. There's no execute you can have, so, you know, pick someone off in ramp room, get some control, pick someone off outside perhaps with that scout, and Jamyoung's just going to drop, feels the pressure, backs away.
Oh, no.
However, Kaze never got the memo.
No,
he came in for support.
They were not on the same page at all there. Kaze decides, I'm going to help, swings out, but no, Jamyoung's already tucked out of there. Some pies now as a chance shot lands. A lot of damage being done from that scout. Another shot through. It's Mosier this time that's gone down. And, well, ENCE aren't committing anywhere near lower. They're going back in towards this top side. Mercury with 1 kill, but it's Advent's aggressive position that needs to deliver the goods. He sees the second player, just the arm. But now Advent's in a really difficult spot because he's worried about Heaven. He looks up there, fires a few warning shots towards Snappy, but it's Madden making his way through ramp. They could even get out of here.
Yeah, they have the bomb. The problem is Jamyoung is still down in the lower bomb side, playing towards vents because he can rotate up top where all the pressure just was. However, the more silence that's here at the A bomb site, the more Jamyoung's going to start being worried, and it's actually a Heaven play.
It is the A play. It is the A play coming in. All right, let's see how this works out for Advent. He's not looking the right way at the moment. They haven't seen him, though. They haven't seen him, and here's the steps. It's Advent nearly looking for the clutch himself from down below, but it has to be Jamyoung up against Snappy, who will commit to the plant at the back of the site. There's a nade here for Jamyoung, but is that low health communicated? It is not. So Jamyoung tries to get past. Flash nearly works out perfectly, but it's going to be Jamyoung winning the 1v1. Snappy peeked into the flash. And
it did work out perfectly, just not for Snappy.
Yeah, definitely not for Snappy. Worked out really well there for Jamyoung.
Nice, easy clutch. Snappy was low HP anyways. Was always going to be a difficult 1v1 to find, but again, a very dangerous round that TYLOO gets tested and stands up. Now, ENCE, again, with 4 kills and the bomb plant, they're going to buy again. They should. They know the economy's hurting. They know it's busted. They know 1 win essentially gets them a map victory. But the longer this goes on and doesn't succeed for ENCE, if TYLOO can continue just barely hanging on the way they are, at some point, ENCE is going to be like, oh, this half has slipped away, and we've been forcing this and not able to get that breaking point, and then all of a sudden they could be in a lot of trouble. So there is still an opportunity for TYLOO to come back into this.
I'm all here for it. Perhaps ENCE could beat themselves. Utility goes towards outside. Vladen clearing close. Not seeing anybody, so they're going to now execute their smokes towards outside. Interesting lineup here from ENCE, a little deeper. There's that smoke to drop down into main, stops Mosier from getting good vision, but he decides to play with it. You can send the nade in to try and gather information, but there's a gap here, there's a corridor by design to allow Vladen into the peak, but he's not ready for Mosier. And that intelligent heads-up play from Mosier to get on the edge of that smoke has given TYLOO the opening kill.
Clean win is what they're hoping for.
That's the bomb.
That's the bomb. That's a second kill. And now Mercury steps up. Oh, over at the boxes. Misses the opportunity. A little bit crazy. Oh, and it all falls apart. And now he's done.
Oh.
He's done. And man, did that turn around quick.
It did. The wheels just fell off the car immediately. It's like they built this beautiful car and then it just fell apart instantly. That looks so good. The Mosier gets a double opener, the bomb in his possession, and suddenly ENCE just get a bunch of headshots.
I didn't even see where all those kills came out. It was just, that, again, that's a 3v5 that very quickly recovered for ENCE. First 2 kills towards mini and outside, and then dang.
Yeah.
Final tactical pause for TYLOO.
Now or never, really, for calling it.
It can't be now. Like, you can't force buy here if you're TYLOO. This is the harshest reset outside of everyone but Mosier.
You kind of have to, because you're on double eco, right? On Kaze in particular, he's like 1400.
Yeah, and
I think you actually
theory, but I mean, if you're actually gonna go for the win,
you have
right?
only 1400 loss bonus. Like, you're not gonna get a buy next round.
It'd be better than what you have now to start the run for overtime. Sure. You know, like yeah, it's a really rough decision, and this is the harshest possible reset, and they're gonna go for it.
All right. It's always that little voice in the back of your head when you see double eco. They're like, but maybe we can do it on Deagles. Maybe we can do it. Couple of headshots. Get Kaze the hero rifle.
Mosier was the only one with money, and he's like, he couldn't get armor, so he had to drop the M4 over to Kaze.
Oh, Kaze, all eyes on you and Snappy. God. Oh my God.
That's the M4.
That's the hero rifle gone. No eyes on Kaze, in fact. He has no eyes left. It's just bang. Snappy, what a way to open up the round. That is ridiculously clean. And now Jamyoung on the Deagle has made sound. He's drawn them towards him. He's taking damage. He's trying to draw them into the trap. There's 2 players set up, though. And this could work for Mosier. Now he needs to land the shots. And the Deagle does exactly that. Snappy and Vladimir both gone. And Nerds gets caught by the 5-7. They're actually going to do it, Jason.
Without the M4.
Without the M4.
They never needed it to begin with. Oh, what a round. That's a little bit of arrogance, I think, from ENCE to push all the way down secret so aggressively. Maybe some overconfidence. And TYLOO's got a little bit of fight left in him.
Just needed a force buy to go their way. Now, Mosier was the player that sacrificed his M4. Well, now he's got it back. And here he goes. Sees the head of Madden, confirms the information. They're walking down towards the lower bomb site. Jamyoung needs to be ready for the B play. Clear out dark, but it's all the time in the world for Mosier to get in behind, come away with that first kill, and now Senpais is looking to chase him down. Mosier is out of there. Advent, it's a little too uncomfortable for my liking there, Advent, so he's going to get out of there.
Yeah, there's no need to take a fight at this point. 4-1, you just kill him when he plants the bomb. 20 seconds left, and they'll just hold the angles, not even let him get into the bomb site. But that's smart from TYLOO players over in ramp room to back off. Don't lose it.
And because they didn't get a bomb plant, there isn't actually a whole lot of money on a few of these ENCE players, so you can't get that comfortable full buy. If they got the bomb plant, then yeah, we're looking at that world, but that shot from Snappy, holy. Turns out it doesn't matter. But,
yeah, all worked out in the end.
Guess it's still a highlight.
Nice trap set up towards secret, helped out by ENCE, just really getting thirsty for some eco kills. 11-6, ENCE 2 rounds away from taking this map 1 victory. TYLOO embarking on a little bit of a comeback. Potentially.
Potentially is definitely the key word there. They've taken their first steps. It's going to be the drop down from Mercury into the vent. That'll be the position he decides to take up. Advent's gone early, so that's a difficult pill to swallow for TYLOO.
Nerds has been looking at that fight towards the upper bomb site in Hut a number of times in this half already.
He got info.
Yeah, he spotted the legs up top, so he says 1 rotated over. Ramp room is going to be a single player.
Ooh, what is the call here in the end for ENCE?
Ooh, it's an over rotation though from TYLOO. They're bringing Jamyoung. They're having a game. They're like, take ramp room. If you guys go ramp room, you have a lot of room to work with. But we're going to shore up the defense up top.
It looks like it's going to work, Jason. It looks like it might be the perfect call for TYLOO to win this round. But we know even when ENCE are up against the odds, they've always got a chance when they've got the sharp aim of Nerds to open up the bomb site. It should be Mosier getting checked shortly, but he's not going to be checked. In fact, there's too much distraction inside of the site, and that Jamyoung play has worked out perfectly. The call to allow him to rotate up and stack out this A defense has made it look good. And now ENCE have a 1v3 on their hands, in particular for Vlad in here. What a way to make your mark it would be if he wins this clutch for ENCE to take a 1v3, to push them up to 12 rounds. He's out of the hut. The bomb is down in the middle of the site, and 20 seconds left. As Vladin picks it up, he wants that fight versus Kaze. If he gets this, he could drop down the vent, in fact, and now the clutch really is on for Vladin.
I don't know if he has time. They can just chase him so fast. He's going to get the bomb planted at the very least, but I don't think he's going to be able to react or do anything. Jam Young. No. Nice, clean, and easy. It's Kaze actually who finds that kill. Good shooting from Jam Young, though. The over-rotation, you're exactly right, is the entire key to that round. Good gamble from TYLOO, and they are rewarded. And that should finally, I was going to say it should give them a little bit of breathing space, but Nertz has just snap bought the AK. Now he can obviously sell that back so they don't have to commit around it. Might just be something where he says, I've been finding fights I like. You know, give me that AK back. I'm feeling it.
You guys buy a couple of P250s, a couple of Eagles.
See what happens.
Yeah, I mean, he is getting a lot of fights he looks very comfortable in. Even if he does the job of just opening up a bomb site, gives the pistols a chance to move in, create some space. That's kind of the only job he needs to do, but we'll see what he...
Yeah, so the AK-47, a little bit of investment around it. Madden's got Tech 9 with armor.
Yeah, okay. So there's something here for ENCE. It's not obviously an ideal buy, but when you got Nertz who's 21-9, go for it.
Well, look, we mentioned the idea that you can, in the first half, that TYLOO wasn't having a player kind of like step up to carry him through a tough moment. Look at Mozia. He's 20-15. He's right up there with Nertz, who's at 21. But the fact that he has shot up the scoreboard, no one was in double digits for TYLOO at halftime. From the pistol round, when he gets that quad kill downstairs, that pistol round ignited something.
Yeah.
Made him feel like he was really hitting the zone. He's been having a great half for TYLOO, and he's helped power them forward to make this doable. They're within striking distance. If they can win this round, you know, all of a sudden we're back on, baby. Then the comeback is really here.
I mean, if he didn't win that pistol round, if he didn't step up to that, we might even be done in this best of one.
We would most definitely be done.
Yeah, it would just be over, right? So Mozia has given them a lifeline, given TYLOO a chance to fight in this opening best of one matchup. And if you are just tuning in, which I'm sure a lot of people are, just waking up, ready for some Counter-Strike to kick off your day, I'm going to tell you all about this matchup. It's a best of one, the opening game of the tournament. If you get through this best of one, you get into a best of three later on today. And if you win that best of three, you get into the semi-finals of this event already, into the playoffs. So it's kind of a speed run if you get through your two openers.
Not bad for one day at Counter-Strike.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
And let me just look at the cash, right? So if you get
look at the prize money.
If you get into the top four of the tournament, you end up confirming yourself a minimum of $50,000.
Ooh, that is a good day in the office, Dinko.
50K, 2 games of Counter-Strike. One of them is a best of one.
Divide that by 5 or 6, coach.
And then probably a small percentage to the organization.
Sure. Okay, so we're looking, you know,
maybe
7K in a day.
That's pretty sick. You know, that's a very good day at the office. And then obviously a chance to even go ahead and perhaps get into that final. But what we were kind of all quietly hoping for is, you know, we love this sort of
we wanted
regional runs.
The double Chinese best of 3 today.
We did want Lim Vision versus TYLOO. You know, everybody kind of wanted that deep down. Apart from Natu.
I think even ENCE and Astralis kind of deep down are like, yeah, we get it.
Yeah, we understand. We understand why that would be cool. Right now, it looks like ENCE are going to spoil that party and go ahead and get into that upper final. But
potentially, but we've seen some cool stuff in the second half. Obviously, just touched on Mozia and the impact that he's having. But outside of that, I really like that call from TYLOO to just kind of gamble towards the upper bomb site, leave ramp room entirely alone, rotate Jam Young over towards heaven. That was a really, really cool call to make. That sometimes these teams that are sort of knocking on the door of tier 1 and like rising up the ranks, those are sometimes the calls they miss or they miscalculate or are a little bit too afraid to pull that trigger. And TYLOO just kind of makes a great read, backs it up with some courage, and then some headshots.
Yeah, you always got to back up courage with headshots. It is how it goes. You know, we have got a technical pause here, which is an extended wait of time. You don't really have a whole lot to do during these kind of moments.
Yeah.
And if you're, for example, in a, hey, what's up, nerds?
Peace.
If you're in a 2-hour Uber journey, for example, or you're just somewhere where you have to burn some time.
I see where you're going to this one.
You know, you can play a couple of games. You know, you could do 20 questions.
Yeah.
All right.
It's classic.
That would be one. So, you know, that's a good game. Or
you're gonna do it.
Space
Team.
Team.
Aren't you? You're gonna plug it.
Space Team. Now that is a game that you can play all together. So
that is in fact.
If you're interested in that, go check it out. It's a
on whichever app store you use.
Approved game. And we're back into ENCE versus TYLOO. It's 11-7, and potentially, as Jason has highlighted as the key word of this, is a comeback for TYLOO.
Yeah, and actually, ENCE's, during that little meditation period of this, kind of reconsidered, and they've added more around.
It's like,
AK-47.
I think we need to buy more.
Yeah, Sumpius is like, nah, dude, I want to buy Glue.
Yeah, I like it.
And then Vladim's like, all right, I'll buy a Tech 9.
Yeah.
Here we are.
But if you're buying something, I'm buying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's viable here. And ENCE, let's see if it's going to work out for them. So you send the deadly weapon out.
Unfortunately, Snappy one-tapped Kaze in that position like 2 rounds ago, so Nertz is looking for the fight, and Kaze's like, nah.
I'm not doing that again.
He's like, nah, that one's not with me today.
It still stings. Jamyung already at secret. He's not only at secret, in fact, he's pushing towards red, so he's getting some ground here, and this could really work for Jamyung. Or that could happen. Nertz just rips his head right off his shoulders, and that's the opening ENCE we're looking for.
Oh.
Now the ramp play. Kaze gets caught out of position. Oh, it's a calamity of errors here for TYLOO, and now the run down into the lower bomb site. Mosier once again has to be the hero.
Yeah, but they don't have a smoke to block this door off, as maybe a little bit. Smoke to protect the planter. Mercury doesn't even go for the spam. There's Mosier stepping out, running out of ammunition, and wrapped upon.
Oh, the lineup!
They line up. Mercury's got him right back into it.
Yeah, the lineup is huge. It gives them the way back in here. Mercury and Advent trying to clutch this one back, but right through the smoke. It's Vladin on the kill. Advent to win it in a 1v2. Not known for his clutches, not known for his fragile ability inside of this team, and it isn't going to happen. Nertz 23-9 as he continues to push forward. The investment pays off for ENCE. It's 12-7 map point in this best of 1.
Yeah, they didn't even need the other rifles, right? Nertz gets that opening kill that they were always going to have him with the hero AK, but Kaze making that transition in towards ramp room was the worst possible timing to commit, to try and make it to a new spot, to a little bit more cover, and it backfires. Oh, painful. And TYLOO, even despite some of this mini comeback, has not been able to build up any kind of cash, so this one hurts. Scout on Kaze. This time he'll be committed to the fight.
Yeah, this time
it's Madden as well.
You got no choice.
Facing 3 different players at the top of the silo.
3 smokes deployed for ENCE, combining the main smoke with a standard 2 cross smokes, and this time they're actually crossing with them with the majority of their players. They have Nertz just lurking elsewhere, and everybody else heading down towards the lower bomb site. Double stack here already, so it's Jamyung sort of jump spotting, and Mercury a little further forward, or Mosier rather.
Here's our boy.
Here he is.
Let's run it back, baby.
MP9. As Mosier got the lineup, swings around the corner, it's just 1. Jamyung's Deagle, good for another. TYLOO trying to extend play, but remember Nertz is still up here in this top site.
Yeah, and I think Nertz is saying now's the timing for me to make my move. They had the crossfire downstairs, that got stopped. He's going to smoke off mini, let his teammates come off the vent and handle it. Mercury running out, and there's Madden. There's Nertz coming out of hut as well, and all of a sudden they've got access to the upper bomb site, but low HP on Madden and Sumpius.
Yeah, Kaze comes back in from heaven. You've got to hope for some magic out of Kaze and Jamyung if TYLOO want to extend this best of 1 any further. But it is looking so damn good for ENCE to close on the opening best of 1 today.
Oh, missed the flash.
And here comes Kaze, low HP, misses the shots. That would have been an opening, but it's Nertz that collapses upon them. What a performance from Nertz coming into today. Jamyung will do his best to try and pull this one back. A couple more peaks coming his way, but the time will run low, and Nertz will take him out. Strong performance from Nertz and ENCE as 13-7 locks in that opening game.
Yeah, that's a solid opening map for ENCE out in Shanghai as well. TYLOO just gets buried way too early. That was such a difficult path for them to get out of that hole. 10-2 at halftime. Oh, man, tough.